All right, traders, I think we are live. Perfect. All right, guys, welcome to the Sunday Weekly Outlook, guys. I know it has been about a month since I've done one of these weekly outlooks, and I apologize. I have just been really busy this past month. I didn't mean to go almost 4 weeks without a weekly outlook. Currently, I'm in Thailand right now, but we are officially back on the weekly outlook grind. All right, so if you are not already subscribed and you don't have notifications turned on, make sure you do that. I try to do a weekly outlook every single Sunday for free for you guys, just to give a little bit of market commentary, maybe shed some light on a few pairs that are going to be good for trading for the week. I have a couple things that I'm going to be looking at today, so make sure you have something to take some notes with. But let's go ahead and just jump into things. And also, if it is maybe your first time watching one of these weekly outlooks, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is David Schinkel. I am the CEO and founder of Positive Traders, which has been around since the middle of 2016. And if you're new to trading, maybe you want to learn a little bit, I recommend you go check out my free educational playlist that I have on my channel. I've got a lot of good videos. Well, I mean, I've got hundreds and hundreds of hours of videos on here, but I've curated what I think is my highest quality videos into the free education playlist, so you guys can get completely free education. You know, there's a lot of people out there that want to charge for like super basic stuff, and I don't think that necessarily that needs to be the case. So I've curated a bunch of that for you. So check that out, and yeah, make sure you guys like this video, please. Definitely, please smash that like button. But let's get into the weekly outlook, guys. So it is, well, for me, it's Monday right now. It's September 16th. I know most of you guys, it's still Sunday evening. So when we look at the timing on the economic calendar right now, and when I'm talking, I'm just going to kind of talk as if I was back in the US. So this is the weekly outlook for Sunday, September 15th, all the way to Friday, September 20th. And this is a very big week, guys, in the market, all right? Let's look at the economic calendar first, okay? So starting off the week, tomorrow evening, all right, Monday night, we have a policy meeting minutes being released from the last meeting from the RBA. So this is going to be important for if you're in any Australian dollar positions. Now, Wednesday is when it really starts to pick up. We actually have, I believe, 3 interest rate decisions this week, guys. That is huge, okay? 3 interest rate decisions. I want you guys to understand how volatile this week is going to be, okay? We're starting it off on Wednesday with the Federal Reserve, okay, from the United States. They are going to be cutting interest rates by 25 basis points, or that is what the expectation is. Okay, so a cut of 0.25%. Now, this is no surprise, right? We saw the Fed begin an easing cycle the last time they met, right? The Fed has been tightening for the past 10 years. They just began the first leg of their easing cycle the last time they met. They dropped interest rates, and here we are Wednesday looking at interest rates getting dropped again. So this is very important, okay? If you do not follow interest rates, you are not a trader, okay? Straight up. If you claim to be a Forex trader, but you do not know how interest rates, central bank rates affect the markets, you are not a trader, okay? You need to understand how the macro and micro economics of the world work before you enter positions, okay? If you don't know, find somebody that's going to teach you it, all right? So we have a interest rate cut from the Federal Reserve on Wednesday, or that's what's expected. Now, it's not just the rate that is being changed, right? We have an entire economics projection, a statement, as well as a press conference held 30 minutes afterwards. All right, so very big day on Wednesday. Not only that, you can see we've got some quarter-over-quarter GDP, right? That's gross domestic product for the New Zealand dollar. We've got also a bunch of labor reports for from the RBA coming out for the Australian dollar. We've got the unemployment rate and employment change, as well as early that morning we have CPI for the Canadian dollar. So mark this on. Oh, and then we have year-over-year CPI for the pound on Wednesday morning also. So we have high-impact news for the pound, the Canadian dollar, the US dollar, the New Zealand dollar, the Australian dollar, and the Japanese yen all on Wednesday, okay? Please do not skip out on looking at the economic calendar this week, okay? It's a very, very big week, okay? Expect a lot of movement in the market. Now, Wednesday is just the tip of the iceberg, okay? Thursday, we have the SMB, okay? So we have this for the Swiss franc, right? That's the central bank for the Swiss franc. We have them meeting in deciding interest rates, okay? Now, they're supposed to keep interest rates the same, but there is also a monetary policy assessment released, okay? Now, shortly after that, about 3.5 hours after the SMB interest rate decision, we have another interest rate decision, this time for the pound, okay? So we have 3 interest rate decisions this week. Guys, get that through your head that we have 3 interest rate decisions. Very, very big week, okay? Do not sleep on the fundamentals this week. Okay, make sure you are fully aware because basically starting Wednesday morning, every couple hours, there's some sort of high impact news almost until the end of the week. Okay, so please make sure you guys are aware. If anything, today's weekly outlook is more of a public service announcement to make sure that you guys are aware of what is coming out this week. Okay, now, before we jump into the charts, I want to look at oil, okay? Some of you guys are sleeping under a rock and you guys don't pay attention to the news, so I'm going to fill you guys in of why oil has spiked from $54 a barrel up to $62 a barrel, the biggest single day of gains since the beginning of this year, okay? This weekend, all right? We saw, if you guys, let me just give you guys a little, make sure you have your notes for this. This is why I tell you guys to have something to write some notes down, okay? All right, Saudi Arabia, all right? Saudi Arabia is responsible for about 10% of the world's supply of oil, okay? The kingdom is responsible for that. That is a very, very large amount, all right? Now, one of their main supply areas was bombed this weekend, okay, by drone attacks by the Houthis, all right? They bombed, they did so much damage that it affected about half of the supply, 5% of the world's supply, okay, which is about 5 billion barrels per day, okay? Huge, huge, billion. I'm using the word B, guys, not million per day, billion per day. Okay, 5 billion per day oil production was cut. All right, which the 5 happens to also be 5% of the world's supply. Okay, so half of the kingdom's supply, which is 10%, so 5% of the world's supply got cut. All right, that is huge. All right, and that is why oil spiked up, in short, okay? Obviously, it's just basic supply and demand, right, guys? If we have a lot of supply and the supply gets cut, or in this case, it gets bombed, then what do you think is going to happen to oil? The demand for oil goes up, all right? Now, if you are part of my active trading community and positive traders, which is, I'm actually going to be, just as a side note, I'm going to be releasing some more information. It's taken a while to put together everything, but over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to have the website done and the marketing is going to be marketing campaign for my active trading community is going to be launched. It's currently in pre-launch right now, but I have opened up exactly as it sounds, an active trading community where we do scalping sessions, live trading, daily webinars 5 days a week, all sorts of fun stuff. And if you are in that group, we're looking at actually shorting USDCAD. At the end of last week, I told you guys that my targets to short USDCAD were 132.60. The week closed around 132.85 up here. Now, obviously, I didn't know that the Saudi Arabia's oil supply was going to get bombed over the weekend, so I did not enter a short on USD CAD yet. However, this just adds conviction to my trade, okay? So, let me be very clear with you guys, okay? Let me be very clear of what I am trading for this week. I'm going to be trading lots of things, taking all sorts of scalps and day trades on all sorts of pairs, but my main focus, my main swing trade is going to be a sell position on USD CAD, okay? Now, if you're in my Telegram, that shouldn't really come as a surprise. I have been expecting USD CAD to get down here to the 129 level for a while. And I hope between the combination of the Fed cutting interest rates and all this hoopla that's going on with Saudi Arabia and the bombings and the attacks back and forth is going to be enough to drive USD CAD lower, okay? So let me drop this pair onto the 4-hour and you can actually see now. A lot of you guys probably see a gap, okay? Just like you see on the daily right here. You see a gap with this chart that I'm getting through. You can see my feed is through Oanda right here. There is actually not a gap, but it just depends on your broker if they show the gap or it's not a gap, right? Gaps don't technically exist, okay? Let me be very clear about gaps, guys. The only reason a gap happens, the only reason why you see is because of your broker. The broker's feed was cut off on Friday and it comes back on Sunday. But the exchange rate is still changing over the weekend. Guys, like it's not like the entire, like think about, like let me just put it this way. If you guys think that the entire world's economy and all the banks just stop on Friday and then it just all picks up back on Sunday, that's not true at all, okay? Banks are very much open on the weekends. Central banks are very much open on the weekends. Money is very much so being transferred all across the world 24/7, 365. And that is why there are gaps, because the exchange rate can change over the weekend, but it's just the broker doesn't show it because they cut off their feed on a Friday and then they restart. It's just like pausing and then restarting, but in between that time, price changed. That's it, okay? And that's why if you follow somebody or you listen to somebody that says to gap trade, they're fucking idiots, okay? And that's another thing, guys. I'm gonna stop censoring myself. I did a little bit of reflection about censoring. I think censoring is like the most raw way. I think when I censor myself, I'm like not even being true to myself. Okay, so if you have a problem with curse words, I don't really give a fuck. But you need to understand that gap trading is dangerous. Okay, I know some of you guys probably see a gap on USD CAD right now, and you might be in groups that say, oh, buy USD CAD because it's got a gap. Fuck that, okay? Do not buy USD CAD, okay? I'm telling you guys right now, USD CAD is not going up this week, okay? It's going down. All right, so that's my setup for the week. That's what I'm looking at to start off the week. Very strong setup, and also not even from a, I mean, we just talked about the fundamental. We haven't even really looked at the technicals. I mean, it should be pretty clear to most of you guys about why I'm shorting from a technical level when I throw it on the weekly. So we've got this previous channel from 2016 to 2017, and then we've got this current channel that we're in and we're looking to break out of, all right? And I'm looking for this downside to break on this channel, and you can actually see 129 is, when you look at this on the weekly, some people think 129 is too far. 129 actually turns out to be a very conservative target at this point. There's going to be a very, or not there is very strong liquidity pools just below 130, all right? And these levels are going to get taken out, all right? So that is my outlook on USD CAD. That is what I'm interested in. If you guys, since there's quite a few of you guys in here live right now, if there is something that you want me to look at, if there's a pair that you want me to look at or an instrument, let me know right now. I'm going to start just looking at one other thing because I'm only really interested to start off the week in USD CAD. I'm going to look at the dollar index right now. So this is going to be a pretty short weekly outlook, but again, if you have something you want me to look at, please put it in the chat, guys. I'd love to hear from you guys and love to help you guys out with some analysis or give you my opinion on what I think. So here's the dollar index, guys. The dollar index is finding some major resistance. It's at a very pivotal level, and I would like to see the dollar index drop this week. I would also like to see, I mean, that would mean Euro USD would be going up this week. I believe this week, guys, Euro USD is going to be good for a buy, okay? And the dollar index is going to be good for a sell. So whatever you prefer, okay? Some brokers, you might not be able to trade. Like my broker, I can trade the dollar index, but I know a lot of you guys are probably using a broker where you don't even have the dollar index on your through your broker, which is I recommend getting with a broker that does have the dollar index, but at least for you to see it, not necessarily trade it, but at least see it. So I think this week Euro USD is going to perform well, and I think the dollar index is going to drop, and I think USDCAD is going to drop as well. And that's really all I'm interested in. Now let me also like go back, look at these setups, guys. Do you remember this? Remember I called an AUDUSD? I posted this, guys. I'm trying to figure out the best time frame to show this on. I posted this setup. I told all of you guys AUDUSD was a buy. This is free money. If you are not in my Telegram, click the link in the description to join my free Telegram. I posted this setup before it even happened, when it was back in here, back on August 27th. So it took a little bit, right? Like obviously I'm not perfect. Like the market isn't always going to move exactly to the pip to the T, but it didn't go down before moving up. It consolidated a little bit at these lows, and this overall, this darker blue box that I created of price moving up fairly quickly is what happened, okay? I saw a lot of you guys were able to capitalize on that as well. So, yeah, awesome job, guys. So I'm actually going to remove this. I'm going to remove this for now, remove this, and remove this, and remove this, and yeah, we're just going to remove all of that. We're just going to clear off these charts. I'm also going to get rid of, I don't know what all this is back here. I think that's from one of the trainings I was doing. We'll remove that for now too. Okay, there's nothing in the chat, so it looks like you guys are all good to go. That sounds good. Okay, so I hope you guys have a clear understanding of what I'm looking for the week, all right? These trades are going to pay us. It's going to be a very good week. All right, it's going to be a very good week. All right, but if I guess that's it. We don't have any other comments or anything in the chat, so I appreciate you guys. Have a great trading week, guys. Stay safe out there. Remember to use risk management on your trades. No point in risking it all in a trade. Like, please, even though you guys hear this confidence behind my voice with USDCAD, you know, please don't just go short with the biggest lot size that you can. You know, please use your own strategy. The only reason that I'm here is to add some, like a handicap to your own trading, or add, you know, just a little bit of different perspective to your own trading. So, I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in Telegram and Discord. But yeah, everybody else, I'll see you guys next week. Students, I will see you guys a little bit later in Discord for the daily webinar. So see you guys later, and see you guys next Sunday. Take care, everybody.